Let me ask you something. Have you ever caught yourself staring at your phone, hoping for a message that never comes? That silence, it's more than just quiet. It's a gut punch, a slow burn, the kind that makes you question everything you thought was real. She pulls away, and it feels like the whole connection is slipping through your fingers. But here's the truth most men never hear. You don't win her back by chasing. You don't reclaim your worth by explaining. You flip the entire script by transforming. This isn't some get your ex back trick. This is about becoming the man who no longer needs her validation, because he's remembered who he is. The man she regrets losing isn't the one who begged. It's the one who rose. So stay with me, because in this video, I'm giving you 16 powerful steps that rewire the dynamic not just with her, but with yourself. These aren't games. These are psychological shifts. And by the end, you'll stop asking, will she come back? And start asking, do I even want her to? Let's be honest. The moment she pulls away, your instinct kicks in. Fix it. Call her. Explain yourself. Apologize for things you're not even sure you did wrong. Anything to make the pain stop. I get it. I've been there. And let me tell you something that took me 20 years to truly learn. That reaction is exactly what pushes her further away. Because the moment you chase, you confirm her suspicion that she's the center of your emotional world. And no woman wants to feel responsible for your stability. What she respects is a man who can stand still in the storm. Acceptance is not giving up. It's not weakness. It's power. When you calmly say, all right, if this is what you want, I accept it. You plant the first seed of doubt in her mind. She expected drama. She expected begging. She expected collapse. Instead, she's met with silence, strength, presence. And now she's wondering, why is he so calm? Did he never care? Or has he already outgrown me, brother? That's how the power begins to shift. You're no longer chasing, you're choosing. And trust me, that changes everything. Silence isn't passive. Silence is power if you know how to use it. After a breakup, most men do the opposite of what works. They text, they call, they apologize. They try to reason with a woman who's made an emotional decision and expect logic to fix it. But here's the truth. She won't feel your absence until you create it. And that starts with silence. No contact isn't a punishment. It's a reset. It's space for her to feel what life actually feels like, without you in it. That's where the tension builds. That's where regret brews. When she scrolls through her phone and doesn't see your name, when the late night, "Hey, I miss you" text doesn't come, her mind starts racing. Why hasn't he reached out? Is he already over me? Did he move on? That silence becomes a mirror. It forces her to sit with the decision she made and wonder if it was the right one. You're not playing games. You're reclaiming space. Space to heal. Space to grow. Space to become the man she starts to miss and maybe even chase. Stay silent. Let the silence speak louder than any word ever could. Now that you've gone silent, here's the truth. Most men miss. Silence without growth is just waiting, and waiting gets you nowhere. This is your turning point, not to win her back, but to win yourself back. Go to the gym not to post selfies, but to rebuild discipline. Pick up that old goal you left behind, the business idea, the book, the thing you said you'd do when life settled down. Now is the time, because when you start leveling up, something shifts in you and in how the world sees you. And yes, post your progress, but not for her. Do it for you. Do it because success is magnetic and confidence doesn't have to shout. It just shows. She might see it. She might feel that change. But more importantly, you will feel it. That edge, that fire, it returns. Here's the paradox. The more you grow without needing her, the more powerful your presence becomes. Not because you chased her, but because you became the man she never thought you could become until it was too late. Your growth is the message. Let it speak louder than your silence ever could. Let's be real. The silence hurts. The nights feel endless. Your mind replays every moment, what you said, what she said, what you could have done differently. But here's something no one tells you. Your pain is not a punishment. It's potential. Every ounce of heartbreak, every 3 a.m. moment staring at the ceiling, that's fuel. Not to destroy yourself, but to rebuild yourself. You see, there's a kind of strength that doesn't come from comfort. It comes from choosing to rise through fire. This is where emotional transmutation begins. You stop asking, why did she leave, and you start asking, what is this turning me into? Start with the gym, not for revenge, but for clarity. Read more. Learn more. Build something that didn't exist before she left. Let your pain be the spark that launches your next chapter, because when you stop using your energy to mourn the past and start using it to build the future, that's when you shift. That's when she notices. That's when you become unstoppable. This isn't about survival. This is about transformation. Use the pain, or it will use you. Here's something you need to understand about women. They don't fall back in love through logic. They fall through feeling, through memory, nostalgia, and emotional contrast. And this is where subtlety becomes your greatest weapon. You're not reaching out. You're not texting her, I miss us. You're smarter than that now. Instead, you drop emotional breadcrumbs. A song lyric in your story that only she would recognize. A photo of a place you both once laughed together. A quiet post that hints at a shared moment without naming names. You're not saying it's about her, but her heart will know. Why does this work? Because now your silence has texture. It's not cold, it's nostalgic, it's not needy, it's haunting. Suddenly, she's not just remembering you, she's remembering how she felt when she was with you. That's the key. You're not reactivating the relationship. You're reactivating the emotional imprint you left behind. She'll wonder, does he still think about me? Was that post for me, and that curiosity, that emotional tension? That's how you stay in her mind without ever saying a word. So what happens if or when she finally reaches out? A casual, hey, just thinking about you. A simple hope you're doing okay. That message that feels like a lifeline after weeks of silence. Your heart jumps. But this is where most men crumble. They reply too fast, too emotionally, too open. And just like that, the power they gained dissolves. But not you. Not anymore. When she reaches out, respond, but with strength. Be calm. Be polite. But stay brief. A simple, I'm good. Hope you're doing well too. No question. No open door. Just presence without pursuit. Why does this matter? Because now you're showing emotional discipline. You're no longer reacting from pain, you're responding from purpose. She expected you to chase, to fall into old patterns. Instead, she's met with a version of you she doesn't quite recognize, and that uncertainty. It stirs something in her. She starts to wonder if she ever really had you, or if she just lost something far more grounded than she realized. You're not cold, you're composed. And that's rare and incredibly powerful. Let me tell you something most men forget after a breakup. Predictability kills attraction. Right now, she thinks she knows you, your moods, your patterns, your responses. She thinks she can still read you like a book even from a distance. So change the story. Don't post what she expects. Don't say what she hopes to hear. Don't act out of emotion. Start becoming a version of yourself that even you're still discovering. That's how mystery begins, not by playing games, but by evolving. When a woman can't figure out what's going on in your world, when she sees you smiling in a place she's never been, or laughing with people she doesn't recognize, curiosity turns into obsession. She'll scroll through your social media looking for clues. She'll replay old memories, trying to match them to the new version of you. Because mystery makes space for imagination, and imagination, my friend, is where deep desire lives. You're not being distant. You're becoming elusive intentionally, not to manipulate her, but to protect the new ground you're standing on. Let her wonder, let her chase clarity, because when you become unpredictable, you become unforgettable. Let's take mystery one step deeper into something far more powerful. Controlled ambiguity. See? Most guys make this mistake after a breakup. They post heartbreak quotes, vent online, or overshare wins just to prove they're thriving. But every time you broadcast your emotional state, you give her clarity. And clarity kills curiosity. So here's the move. Stop being predictable. Stop being easy to read. Be warm, but distant. Be kind, but vague. Let her feel your presence without ever fully knowing where you stand. Is he hurting? Is he healed? Is he dating someone new? Let her wonder, because here's the truth. The mind fixates on what it can't explain. And when you become emotionally unreadable, she doesn't just remember you. She obsesses over decoding you. Controlled ambiguity isn't about being cold. It's about holding your center. It's about protecting your energy so only the worthy get full access to who you are now. Make her guess. Make her chase. And watch how the silence you control becomes louder than any confession ever could. Let me tell you one of the most magnetic traits a man can ever possess. Purpose. When your world used to revolve around her, she felt it, and over time that orbit became pressure. No woman wants to be the center of your world. They want to be invited into a world that's already in motion. So here's your mission now. Rebuild that world. Reconnect with what used to light you up before you met her. The vision, the drive, the late nights working on your craft. Whatever it was, go back to it and double down. Women don't chase comfort. They chase momentum. And a man on a mission is pure momentum. Ask yourself if she never comes back. What kind of man do I want to become anyway? That's purpose. That's direction without attachment. And ironically, when you're no longer moving for her, she starts feeling pulled toward you again. Your focus becomes your power. Your ambition becomes your energy. And your mission becomes the magnet. Build the life you were meant to live, and let her feel what it's like to watch from the outside. Let's talk about something primal, social proof. Whether she admits it or not, a woman wants to know that the man she once had is still valuable in the eyes of others. Not just any woman, but women who carry confidence, class, and feminine energy. So when she sees you surrounded by others, laughing, growing, connecting, it plants a seed. Did I underestimate him? Was he always this magnetic? You don't need to flaunt. You don't need to fake. Just live. Attend that event. Post that photo. Accept that compliment not to provoke her, but because you're finally walking in your worth. Social proof isn't about making her jealous. It's about reminding her and yourself that you were always more than she saw. When other women show interest, when you're respected by the world around you, she feels it deeply. Because now you're not just the man she left. You're the man everyone notices. And the moment she realizes she's not the only one who wants your attention, the game changes. You didn't chase value. You became it. And now she's the one trying to keep up. Let me be clear. Most men lose the game not because they failed, but because they folded too soon. They wait a few days, a week, maybe two. Then panic kicks in. And they break silence. They reach out. They explain. They try to just check in. But you're not most men. See, patience isn't just waiting. It's strength in stillness. It's trusting the process. Even when your emotions scream for action. Every day you hold the line, your value rises. Because patience signals emotional mastery, and women feel that. They can sense when a man is grounded, focused, and not seeking external reassurance. Ask yourself this: why are you rushing something that's meant to unfold on your terms? What would happen if you stopped watching the clock and started watching your growth? Powerful men don't chase timelines. They live in alignment. And ironically, the moment you stop needing her to return by a certain date is often when she feels most drawn back. Don't break your silence just to soothe the ache. Hold it. Let the pressure build on her end. Because the one who controls the pace controls the power. Here's something most men overlook. Feelings override logic. Always. She might have 100 reasons for walking away. But if you can awaken the right feeling, all those reasons start to fade. And the fastest path to those feelings, nostalgia. You see, people don't remember details, they remember emotion. How they felt in a certain place, what a song did to their heart, the smell of your cologne in the winter air. Nostalgia is a portal, and you can use it. You don't need to reach out and say, "Remember this." You can do it subtly. A photo from a place you both loved, a quote that touches the same memory lane, even a playlist that echoes the days you used to laugh together. And when she sees it, it stirs something. She's no longer thinking about what went wrong. She's remembering what felt right. This is where you shift the emotional tone, from pain to longing, from finality to possibility. And the best part, she doesn't even realize you did it, because it wasn't manipulation, it was memory. And memory is powerful. Here's a truth most men avoid. Sometimes she didn't leave because you were a bad guy. She left because you weren't ready. Too available, too predictable, too much energy poured into her, and not enough into yourself. But now you're building. You've stopped chasing closure and started chasing clarity. You've stopped waiting and started evolving. This is your opportunity to become the man she couldn't handle before. Not out of spite, but out of growth. You're not texting from the same emotional place anymore. You're not checking her page, hoping she misses you. You're creating a life so full, so purposeful, that even if she saw it all, she wouldn't know where to fit in. That's power. And the irony. Now that you've outgrown the version of yourself she once walked away from, she may want back in. But you're no longer looking for validation. You're not the guy hoping she comes back. You're the man who finally realized he didn't need her to become who he was meant to be. Let your growth be loud without ever raising your voice. You've been silent. You've been building. And now you're ready to reappear. But here's where you need to be careful. This is not your grand comeback. This is not the moment you pour your heart out or chase closure. This is subtle, strategic, controlled. Maybe you post a photo from a trip. Maybe you walk into a mutual space calm, confident, unfazed. You don't reach out. You don't explain where you've been. You simply exist in a new energy. And that alone changes everything. Because now she sees you again, but not the version she left. This man is cooler, detached, focused. And here's what makes it powerful. You're not inviting her back in. You're reminding her what she lost. You're not here to seek her attention. You're here to show without a word that her absence didn't break you. It built you. When you reappear without neediness, without apology, you reactivate curiosity. And that's the gateway to attraction. Let her feel the shift. Let her do the wondering. Because now, you move on your terms. So let's say she comes back. Maybe it starts with a message. Maybe she wants to meet. Maybe she says she misses how things used to be. Now pause. This is the moment many men lose themselves. They confuse her return with resolution. But listen carefully. Just because she wants back in doesn't mean she gets the same version of you. This is your power move. Not with ego, not with revenge, but with clarity. You say, "I'm open to talking, but I'm not interested in repeating the past." That one sentence shifts the dynamic. Because now she realizes she has to earn her place in your life. No more autopilot. No more access without accountability. You're not asking for her back. You're asking yourself if she still fits the man you've become. You've done the inner work. You've grown. And now the bar is higher not because you're punishing her, but because you've finally raised it for yourself. Let her feel that difference. Let her meet the man with boundaries. Because real power isn't in taking her back, it's in knowing you don't need to. Here's the final step, and it might be the most important one of all. After all the growth, after the silence, the work, the discipline, she comes back. She's reaching out. She misses the energy, the man, the strength. But here's the question. No one asks you to consider, do you still want her? Not the memory of her, not the comfort of what used to be, but the real version of her today. Because here's the truth I've learned over 2 decades. Sometimes the goal wasn't to get her back. It was to get yourself back. You became the man she now wants. But more importantly, you became the man you respect. And that, brother, is the ultimate win. This step isn't about bitterness or pride. It's about clarity. It's about looking at her and asking honestly, does this version of me still choose her? Does she match the life I've now built? Sometimes you walk away, not because you're angry, but because you finally know your worth. You're no longer chasing. You're choosing. And that's the moment you stop trying to prove anything to her, because you've already proven everything to yourself. So let's step back for a moment. You've just walked through 16 steps, each one crafted not to win her back, but to win yourself back. From emotional chaos to grounded silence, from chasing answers to becoming the man who no longer needs them. This isn't about games. This is about transformation. The goal was never just to make her regret losing you. The real goal was to become the kind of man who can walk away not because he stopped caring, but because he started choosing himself. Now ask yourself, do you still want her back? Or are you finally ready to build a life so powerful she becomes just one chapter in your story? If this spoke to something in you, like the video. Comment below. Have you tried no contact? What shifted for you? Subscribe for more mindset strategies like this, and let's keep building a community of men who rise in silence, lead with presence, and never forget their worth.